Well, hello guys. This is the Betamax Man. It's about 2 a.m. in the morning on a Thursday. I've got a very special unboxing video for you today. Now, for you VHS fans, this video is going to excite you. For the beta fans, well, unfortunately, this video is not really for us, is it? But, will we like the video? Hopefully. So let's get started. This is a Selectavision RCA product. Yes, it's a VHS. It's a very special VHS. It's a portable RCA VHS machine. I think it's a JP100T, something like that. But basically it's a portable VCR that turns into a regular VCR. They actually kind of called this the kind of like a VCR convertible type thing. Anyway, it's a neat machine and it's got a power supply issue. So the guy said there's something wrong with the power supply. And I've only been wanting this machine for about a month. I've been wanting this. Ever since I got my CED, and I was watching a YouTube video online, and they were talking about the RCA products, the TVs and the VCRs and the Selectavision CED players. This is a pretty neat model. I hope it arrives okay. It looks like it's got some damage to it. It is a four-head model. Okay. Here it is, guys. Looks like the cover is missing some screws. And here's our power supply right here. There are capacitors that are probably bad. Somebody probably had this power supply apart because they probably tried to see what was wrong with it and didn't know what was wrong with it. I guess it wasn't damaged. It's just the cover. There's no screws, so we'll have to put some screws in it. But I hope you guys like this video. It's pretty cool, so let's go ahead and plug it in. I want to see if it'll even light up. He said that the power light wasn't coming on, so see, power right there. Okay. Yeah, so there's no power. I'm assuming that there would be some kind of indicator as to yeah, so let's see if we can eject it. So it ejects. I'm gonna go ahead and clean this machine. I'm gonna get some Lysol, sanitize it, and because of the coronavirus, I sanitize all the stuff that comes in. Even before the coronavirus, I started to do this. So let me get this all cleaned up, and we'll take a look at it and see if it has any life. Because maybe the power is on, maybe it's just that, you know, I don't know. No, there is something going on with the power, because there's no memory counter or anything. Okay, so let's see if we have power, because we probably don't, but I'm gonna test it. Okay, yeah, no power. Okay, yeah, doesn't seem like there's any power at all. It's just, we have a clock display, and that's about all we have. I believe this was a Hitachi made machine. This is probably either a Hitachi or a Panasonic, because Panasonic made a lot of VHS machines for RCA. Not only that, Hitachi and the very, very last RCA VHS machines were made by Funai. Funai actually made VCRs. The last VCRs that we seen were made by them, and they used to be really good quality, but everybody started making stuff in China, and when things were made in China, they were garbage. So check this out. This thing slides out. This is a portable slash per home use. You could hook a video camera up to the side of it. There's some switches and stuff that this thing has. There's a bunch of buttons and switches, and there's a switch for stereo. Stereo is where I like to have it. This is, let's see, it's a, let's look at the model number. Boy, where is the model number? Might have to take this off to get the model number. Yeah. Okay, this one was made in Japan. Okay, model number VJP 900 is the model number. And this is the one that I've been wanting for about a month. And it's got your 3 record speeds. It's got LP, which I actually really liked LP. And I actually grew up with VHS. I knew what beta was. I knew that beta was better. And I remember going into the video stores, and there was a very tiny, small section for beta, and everything else was VHS. So by the time I started going to the video store, beta had pretty much died. Because I was born in '86, And I think the earliest I remember going to the video store was when I was like 5. So, you know, but, you know, I don't remember everything. I know that the store was selling them off. I remember that. We used to have Hollywood Video, and we actually lived about 10 blocks from Hollywood Video in Portland, Oregon. They actually started in Portland, and the guy grew his business, and then you started to see Hollywood Video in a lot of other areas and other states and other areas in Oregon. I'm not sure where all the states that they were in, but I know that Hollywood Video actually got bigger and bigger, and but he started out in Portland, Oregon. My father knew the guy. My father was actually friends of the original, the guy that started Hollywood Video. So anyway, and my uncle actually had a J.C. Penney VHS machine, which was a Panasonic. So anyway, I thought I heard somebody knocking, so I'm wondering if I got somebody I was scared there for a second, thinking maybe somebody was knocking on the door trying to burglarize us or something, you know. 2 o'clock in the morning. Who's gonna knock the door at 2 o'clock in the morning? Turned out to be just the dog making noise, I think. Alright. So we won't be able to do anything until we fix this. So this has got a idler tire, so we'll have to replace the idler tire. So after we get the electronics going on it, we'll fix the power supply, and then we'll do new belts, and we'll put a new idler tire. And that should get this thing back up and going. Don't know what else it will need. It'll probably need a little bit more than that. So I'm going to unplug it, and we'll take a look at the power supply and see what we got to do to get it open. Probably won't work on it tonight, but we'll probably work on it like on Saturday. And because Saturday I'll have more time to, you know, work on stuff. I'm also gonna be moving to our new place, so I actually was able to buy a house. My brother and I were buying a house, and our mom. We take care of our mom because our mom is, you know, elderly, and she needs somebody to take care of her, especially since my father died. It's kind of a heavy burden. I knew it was coming, but I didn't think it was going to be that soon. Anyway, so I'll be in a new place soon, and we'll do a lot of stuff, because I'm planning on doing a little bit more VHS machines. Probably gonna get I'd like to get a Fisher VCR for my friend Anthony, and I would like to have that same model. So I'll probably buy a couple of them, get them going. I'm not finding any of them right now. Right now, there's no listings for a Fisher 730. So anyway, but we're gonna do a lot more betas. I mean, yeah, obviously, I work on mainly betas. I don't work on VHSs too much because they're not, you know, for me, they're not interesting. I just don't like them. I mean, some of the VHS models I like this particular one, because it reminds me of my childhood. You know, because I remember when this, I mean, kids today are very spoiled. Okay? We didn't have high definition growing up. You know? We had standard definition. You know? And everybody talks about how bad, you know, standard definition was. No, it wasn't. It wasn't bad to us because we didn't know any better. That's all we had. We didn't know that there would be something better later on down the road. Well, actually, we did, because I remember in the early 90s, some of the people in like Sears and stuff, they were talking. People would talk about the new high definition television that was coming, but this was in the early 90s, and we didn't start seeing high definition TVs until like the late 90s, early 2000s. So I don't remember the exact date that they released a high def set, but you know, they were working on it, you know. So but today kids are just spoiled because they can go online, click on whatever movie they want to watch, go on Netflix or Hulu or whatever streaming site you have, and click on it, and boom, it's there. We had to go to the video store, rent a videotape, pop it in the VCR, and press play. And then we had to rewind. Yes, my childhood. I enjoyed my childhood. So let's take a look at the power supply. Well, it's not missing the screws. The top is broken. So I wonder if it was damaged in the shipment. It probably was damaged in shipment, because this is all busted. So we're not going to be able to hold it in. So I'm going to have to probably drill a hole in the plastic or something. I'll have to come up with some way to fasten the lid. But here is the power supplies. Actually, this is the transformer, and the power supply is going to be on this board right here. So what it looks like, yeah, it's going to be this board, because the transformer is plugged into this circuit board here, and it looks like it's just able to just lift right up, and then again maybe not. Yeah, it looks like it got. So there's some screws there and there. So it's gonna need to have, there are some capacitors, and I don't see a regulator, so it's probably not a I don't see a regulator. I just see some capacitors and some resistors. There's some other components there. Yeah, there's a fuse. Hey, that fuse might be blown. That might be what it is. But, well, we can pull that out and see. But it doesn't look blown to me. It looks like it's okay. So I don't think it's going to be a fuse area. It might also, but there might be more to the power supply than just this one. It might be, both of these might, well, this is the tuner. So here's the tuner. This is the tuner board. And then the tuner's plugging into this circuit board here. So it does have something to do with the power supply though, because you can see it's plugging in from here and it's going into there. So I'm thinking that I'm going to focus on these two circuit boards right here. And I'm going to pull them out. When I get ready to work on this, we'll pull them out and we'll check the capacitors and see what one is bad, if there are any that are bad. You know, I'm not, at this point in time, I don't see a regulator. Well, no, wait, here we go. Here's one. There's one right down there. There's a little regulator right there. So we might need to buy a new regulator for this thing, I don't know. But when we pull the power supply out, and we'll check all the components. And it might just be capacitors, and it might just be, yeah, I think it's just caps that have went bad, and that's probably all that it is. Let's see if you might be able to pull, might even be able to pull straight up on this thing. Oh yeah, you can just pull the, yeah, I might be able to pull that board out. Hold on, I'm going to see if I can pull this board out. Okay, so, turn the TV off there. So, I pulled one of the circuit boards out. These three capacitors are dead. This one is dead. This one is okay. So it looks like we need to order some capacitors here. So I don't have any of them in stock, so we'll have to order some. There's a 25 volt at 1000 microfarad. And there's a couple of 50 volts at 220 microfarad. So I'm gonna have to go searching and digging for, gonna go buy some capacitors before we can do anything. Thing is, I mean, yeah, I could probably take two capacitors, put them together to make a capacitor, but that's not the right way to do it. So we're gonna order them, and I can't really do anything with this thing until I have those capacitors. There's some other capacitors here too on this board, and I think this one also has something to do with the power. This one, this circuit board plugs in to this board. This actually plugs in to there. And I marked them with a Sharpie because you could put them in wrong. See what I'm saying? You could put them in backwards. So I marked them because I don't want to put them in backwards. You put them in backwards and you'll burn it up. And cause more damage than I could repair. You know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, so now what I could do is we could pull this board out as well and see what these caps are doing, because these have little capacitors and I've got a bunch of the little caps, so maybe we can get somewhere, or we can at least replace the capacitors that I have, and then we'll order some. So we need to order some apparently. But you know what's really surprising is that these are Nichicon capacitors, and they're bad. But you can see that they've been leaking. They've actually gotten hot as well. So I think they've been leaking a little bit. I might be better off to cut the old caps off and then solder from the bottom side. I don't know. But it doesn't appear to have any damage. So it's probably not been leaking bad enough. No, I think that's glue is what I think that is. It's probably just circuit glue or something. Yeah, because the leads look good on this side, so they don't look burnt. Well, there's a couple of them that look like they've gotten hot. So this is definitely one of the main boards for the power supply, because the transformer plugs into this board. So let's pull the other one out and see what those are reading. I want to check those capacitors. This board, though, I think is mainly for the tuner. Yeah, I think this is a tuner board. So I think the board that I really need to focus on is going to be this one. So I'll have to order some of those caps, and I'll have to order them online because I don't know anybody in town that sells these. Norvac Electronics, but I think they're closed because of the coronavirus right now. You can go online, you can order from them online, but the store here is closed because of the coronavirus. At least I'm hoping that's why. I hope they didn't go out of business or something. Anyway, so we'll just order some caps. Oh boy, I see one of those light blue Sanyo capacitors. Yeah, this one's probably going to need a bunch of caps. Let's just pull this other board out and we'll see. And we'll take a look at it and see. Yeah, so I pulled this board out too, and there's a lot of capacitors on this one as well that have failed. There's some that have went completely open, and some of them that are real low and on the voltage. So the voltage is very low, and this is definitely caused by capacitor issues. Now this is the tuner plugs into this board. But this does have something to do with the power. Now this has got a this is a little capacitor for the memory. It's like a battery, and it's a 5.5 volt at what is it, 2 microfarad or 0.022 is the microfarad. Well, I can't do anything right now. Saturday we'll take a look at it. We'll order the capacitors, the big capacitors. I'll probably just order this one as well. I might even be able to find some used capacitors that I could put in here. That way I wouldn't have to spend any money, and I can get this power supply up and going. But there's a lot of 25 volt caps. So these little ones I have these. Most of these ones are just ones that I have. I don't have the 5.5 volt, so I'd have to order that one, but as you can see here, that yeah, this has got a 16 at 47, and there's a 220, a 10 volt at 220. I have those. I don't have any 16 at 47s. There's a 50 at 1 point. No, there's a 50 at 3.3 volt. So there's some 50, some 16 volt caps in here, and we may end up having, we might end up having to recap everything in this section of the machine. I don't know. So I'd at least like to get power to it so that I could at least get it to the point where we can get the machine playable, you know. Even if it needs belts, I have belts and stuff, so the mechanical parts I can deal with. The electrical parts we'll have to order some, because these are definitely bad, but like I said, I might have some used caps that I can put in there. And there's nothing wrong with using used capacitors as long as they're still good. So recycling capacitors, that's, you know, hey, that's always a good thing, you know. So, well, that'll be it on this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I know that this video is a little bit on the longer side, and we'll try not to make the next video so long. I'd like to try to keep my videos within about a 30 to 45 minute range. So I know that I hope you guys will enjoy seeing the video and taking a look at a vintage top loader, an RCA Select Division product. Open your eyes, RCA.